The calm before the storm never lasts long in Virgin River. This time, love and fear walk hand in hand. Mel and Jack are stepping into a new chapter as parents, a dream they've longed for, but one shadowed by secrets from the past that refuse to stay buried. As the leaves fall and the river runs restless, a mysterious stranger arrives, and with him, a truth that could destroy everything they hold dear. Virgin River awakens under a sky heavy with change. The streets are quiet, yet every corner of the town seems to whisper, something is coming. Mel feels it too. Motherhood was supposed to bring peace after years of heartbreak, but instead, she senses a storm brewing. Jack tries to hold everything together, smiling through the sleepless nights and gentle cries of their newborn. But behind that smile lies a fear he can't confess. He's haunted by memories he thought were buried deep, memories tied to a man he once knew, and a mistake that refuses to stay in the past. Doc's condition continues to worsen. Once the town's heartbeat, he now struggles to see the world clearly, both literally and emotionally. Every morning, he sits by his window, watching the river flow as if it's carrying pieces of his life away. Hope stands beside him, determined to pull him, and the entire town, back to their feet. Her project to rebuild the community center becomes more than just construction. It's a lifeline for everyone who's ever lost something. But Hope soon learns that leadership comes with sacrifice, and not everyone in town is ready to forgive the past. Meanwhile, Brady and Bree find themselves caught in a dangerous game. What began as a second chance at love turns into a battle for survival when an old case resurfaces, dragging Brady back into a world he thought he'd escaped. The more they uncover, the darker it gets, secrets hidden beneath the calm surface of Virgin River. Every answer brings a new question, and every truth threatens to break them apart. Preacher, still haunted by the ghosts of his past, discovers something that forces him to make a choice: protect his future or face what he's been running from. His loyalty is tested when someone from his old life reappears, bringing both danger and redemption. For the first time, Preacher begins to question whether the peace he's built is real, or just another illusion ready to crumble. Through it all, Mel and Jack stand as the heart of the story. Parenthood was meant to be their new beginning, but the weight of the past presses harder with each day. Jack's nights are filled with flashes of a face he can't forget, a man who once saved his life, but may now be the reason everything falls apart. And when that face suddenly reappears in Virgin River, the perfect picture of family begins to crack. The town itself seems to echo their emotions. The river runs higher, rougher, as if mirroring the turmoil of its people. Hope's determination clashes with fear. Love battles guilt, and secrets, buried deep for years, begin to rise like ghosts in the fog. By the time the first snow touches the mountains, Virgin River is no longer the same. Old friendships are tested, alliances shift, and the thin thread holding everyone together starts to fray. Yet, even amidst the uncertainty, there's something beautiful about it all. A quiet reminder that sometimes the hardest battles lead to the strongest love. Mel looks out at the river one evening, her baby asleep in her arms, and she whispers to herself, "We'll get through this." But deep down, she knows the river never forgets. And whatever it's bringing to shore, they'll have to face it together, because in Virgin River, peace is never permanent. And every beginning hides a reckoning. The days in Virgin River grow colder, and the air feels heavier with secrets that no one dares to speak aloud. Mel and Jack's world, once filled with laughter and baby giggles, begins to tremble under invisible weight. It starts small, late-night phone calls Jack won't explain, quiet arguments that end with silence, and the uneasy feeling that someone is watching them. Mel tries to convince herself it's just exhaustion, but deep inside, she knows something's not right. That feeling becomes undeniable when a stranger arrives in town. A man with calm eyes and a voice that sounds too familiar. His name is Cole, and he claims to be new to Virgin River. But the moment Jack sees him, the color drains from his face. Cole isn't new. He's a piece of Jack's forgotten past, a past that was meant to stay buried. Years ago, during Jack's military days, a choice was made: one that saved Jack's life but destroyed Cole's. And now, Cole's back, carrying secrets sharp enough to cut through every layer of peace Jack has built. The town senses the tension even before the truth surfaces. Preacher watches Jack closely, noticing the cracks in his composure. Hope tries to distract everyone with her rebuilding project, but even she can't ignore the unease spreading through the community. Virgin River, a place once defined by its healing spirit, now feels like a ticking clock, waiting for something to explode. Doc, fighting his failing health, grows restless. He knows time is running out for him, and there's something he needs to set right before it's too late. His moments with hope become softer, more fragile, like sunlight slipping through clouds. He begins leaving behind letters, pieces of advice, memories, confessions, for the people he loves most. It's his way of holding on to Virgin River, even as his strength fades. Brady and Bree's story turns darker. The investigation that pulled them in begins to spiral beyond control. Evidence disappears, allies turn cold, and the danger comes closer to home. When Bree receives a mysterious warning, a letter with no name, no return address, she realizes someone in Virgin River is working against them. Brady swears to protect her, but even he can't predict how far this enemy will go. The lines between love and survival blur, forcing them to question who they can truly trust. Preacher's past finally catches up. A man he once helped, a man everyone believed was gone, returns with unfinished business. It's not revenge he wants, it's the truth. But in chasing that truth, Preacher must confront a part of himself he thought he'd buried forever. The calm, dependable protector of Virgin River begins to fracture, torn between the man he's become and the man he used to be. And through all of it, Mel stands at the center, trying to hold her world together while everything around her begins to fall apart. She notices Jack's distant eyes, his late nights, his quiet guilt. But when she finally confronts him, the truth spills out like poison. Cole isn't just someone from Jack's past. He's tied to a decision that changed both their lives forever. A mission that went wrong, a betrayal that cost lives, and a promise Jack broke to stay alive. Cole hasn't come for revenge. He's come for closure. But closure comes at a price. As rumors spread through town, trust begins to fade. Virgin River starts to feel unfamiliar, like the river itself is turning against its people. Hope's project faces setbacks, Doc's condition worsens, and winter storms isolate the town. Power lines fall, roads close, and the community must once again rely on each other. Even as suspicion grows, Mel, holding her child close, tries to believe in love's strength. But one question keeps echoing in her mind. How do you build a future when the past refuses to stay buried? The storm outside mirrors the one within every heart. Love, guilt, and forgiveness crash like thunder across Virgin River. And as lightning strikes the night sky, one thing becomes clear. No one is truly safe from the past, because in Virgin River, the river remembers every secret. And this time, it's not done speaking. The storm that had loomed over Virgin River finally breaks. Rain pours down the mountains, flooding the winding roads and trapping the town in silence. But it's not just the weather that's unraveling. It's the people. Mel and Jack stand on the edge of something they can't control, a truth that could either unite them or tear their family apart forever. Cole's presence has changed everything. His calm words cut deeper than anger ever could. He claims he's not here for revenge, but the pain in his eyes tells another story. He reminds Jack of promises broken, of men lost, and of a truth that was buried beneath medals and guilt. Jack tries to make peace, to convince Cole that life has moved on, but Cole isn't here to forgive. He's here to reveal what Jack has tried to forget. One night, during the storm's peak, Jack vanishes. Mel finds his truck near the river, empty, engines still running. Panic sets in. The rain blurs everything. The roads, the forest, her thoughts. With her child in her arms, she feels that same old ache, the one she thought she'd buried when she found love again. But Virgin River has taught her that love always comes with loss. She refuses to give up this time. Not now. As Hope organizes search efforts, the town comes together once more. bound not by peace but by fear. Preacher leads the volunteers, Brady searches through the woods, and Bree tries to calm Mel, even as her own heart trembles. Doc, frail but unyielding, insists on joining them despite his fading strength. If I'm going to go, he whispers to Hope, I'm going doing what I've always done, helping. It's a simple line, but it hits like thunder. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, Jack confronts Cole. What begins as a conversation turns into a confession, a painful one. Cole reveals that Jack wasn't the only one who suffered from that fateful mission. Cole lost someone too, someone he loved, someone who trusted Jack's orders. That loss destroyed him, sent him down a path of blame and anger. But in his voice, there's something else now, exhaustion. He's tired of running, tired of hurting. You built a new life, he says. I came here to see if I could do the same. The two men stand in the pouring rain, years of silence finally breaking. There's no shouting, no violence, just truth. Mel finds them there, both shivering, both broken, and in that fragile moment, she realizes something. Sometimes, forgiveness isn't about forgetting. It's about surviving together despite what was lost. When they return, the storm begins to fade. The community center's roof is half gone, but Hope insists they'll rebuild it again. Doc's health continues to decline, but he finds peace knowing Virgin River will go on without him. He passes the torch to Cameron, reminding him that healing isn't just about medicine, it's about heart. Brady and Bree finally uncover the truth behind their investigation, corruption that reached farther than they imagined. And in doing so, they close the final chapter of their own torment. Preacher makes his peace with his past too, opening his heart to the possibility of forgiveness. He realizes that no matter how dark the past gets, there's always a light waiting. If you have the courage to face it, as the days pass, Virgin River slowly returns to calm. The snow begins to melt, and the river flows steady once more. Mel and Jack, now stronger than ever, stand by the water's edge with their child, watching the sun break through the clouds. The pain has vanished, but something else has taken its place. Hope. Jack turns to Mel and says softly, "We'll never be the same." Mel smiles, her voice barely a whisper. That's how we know we've grown. The camera of life pans back, the river glistening like glass, the town breathing again. Virgin River, scarred but unbroken, stands tall once more. The season ends not with endings, but with beginnings, fragile, beautiful, and real. Because in Virgin River, every storm ends the same way, with love finding its way home.